But once the money is in crypto, they will eventually explore other things, right? So, I think we're still quite early. I think we're still in. If we go by 4-year cycles, it should be end of this year.
바이낸스 창립자 창펑자오가 라울팔과 마주 앉아 암호화폐 시장의 본질과 미래를 풀어놓습니다. 창펑자오는 왜 이번 불장이 과거와는 전혀 다른 흐름을 보일 것이며 비트코인의 다음 움직임과 기관 자금 흐름 그리고 향후 주목해야 할 신호들까지 직접 전합니다. 지금부터 창펑자오와 라울팔의 인터뷰를 함께 확인해 보시죠.
A lot of new people in the space as there is every cycle. They want to hear your advice. For them, how to deal with this. It's hard for people. They're not used to it. So let's give CZs advice and coming into the industry from new, what to do, what not to do.
Sure. I think the fundamental thing is there's no magic bullet. There's no magic formula. Stick with fundamentals. Don't get too excited. When people say, look, this project's really hot. If you don't buy it this minute, then you're gonna miss it. Don't go for that. Just stick with fundamentals. What happens in traditional investing in traditional markets is the same thing that happens here. You should look at fundamentals. You should look at projects. You should play with the product. You should believe it. You should understand it, and then don't follow advices just because. Don't buy just because you saw somebody tweet about something on Twitter, right? So don't just follow blindly. Don't invest in a large number of tokens or coins. Play with 3 or 5 that you can understand deeply, so that you know if they're good or not. If you don't understand, don't invest. And then for the builders, again, fundamentals, right? So don't try to raise a big amount. That's not the benchmark. The benchmark is 5 years from now. How many users do you have? What's your valuation 5 years from now? So look at product market fit, build prototypes, test it. If it doesn't work, pivot. If it works, then scale. Right. So, just know, there's nothing magical. Everybody comes into crypto thinking that the crypto somehow is different. It's not. It's
a bit more volatile.
Yeah. So, you see very often, right? Many people who are not traditional stock traders, they come to crypto, they become active traders. Doesn't work. Crypto is no different from if you do day trading, it's the same everywhere. It's just different asset type. There's some guys who are entrepreneurs in traditional internet, well, not traditional, just internet tech fields. They come into crypto somehow. They want to do it. They want to do something very different. There's nothing different. Crypto does help you raise money more easily. It's a very effective fundraising tool. But still, the fundamentals apply. You got to have product market fit. You got to have a strong product that people use. So all of those things still apply. So there's nothing too magical about this magic internet money kind of industry. There's nothing magical about it. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of basics, a lot of fundamentals.
바이낸스 창립자 창펑자오는 암호화폐 시장에 처음 진입한 투자자와 창업자를 대상으로 지금 시점에서 꼭 새겨들어야 할 현실적인 조언을 전했습니다. 그가 강조한 핵심 메시지는 다음과 같은데요. 첫째, 마법 같은 공식은 없습니다. 그는 지금 핫하다는 이유만으로 쏠리는 투자 방식은 매우 위험하다고 지적하는데요. 시장은 언제나 단기적인 열기보다 기초 체력, 즉 펀더멘털에 따라 움직인다고 말합니다. 둘째, 맹목적인 분산 투자는 오히려 리스크입니다. 그는 수십 개의 코인에 무작위로 분산 투자하는 건 오히려 손실을 키울 수 있다고 주장하는데요. 3개에서 5개 정도의 자산에 집중하되 그것들이 깊이 이해 가능한 프로젝트여야 한다고 강조합니다. 셋째, 암호화폐는 전통 금융과 본질적으로 다르지 않습니다. 많은 이들이 크립토는 다르다고 착각하지만 실상은 변동성만 클 뿐 투자와 사업의 기본 원리는 같다는 것이 창펑자오의 입장입니다. 단기 수익에 대한 기대가 커지는 시장 분위기 속에서 창펑자오의 조언대로 투자 원칙을 되돌아보고 자신만의 기준과 철학이 제대로 정립되어 있는지 점검해 볼 필요가 있겠네요.
Do you think capital formation will grow? We saw ICOs back in 2017, right? Now, it was experimentation. It was the Wild West, but it was experimentation, like memes are now. Do you think we're going to come back to more of that kind of capital formation via some sort of format of ICOs?
I think so. But I think there's always going to be a combination. So we've seen the evolution, right? So, say 70, 80 years ago, if you want to start a business, you can only get a loan from a bank. And it's very hard to get fundraising, right? So then 30-something years ago, VCs started to appear, and it makes sense for internet businesses because they got to burn through a lot of money before they have a revenue model, and that kind of worked for internet. And then now we come to ICOs. ICOs are so much easier to raise money, right? That's 2017. But for ICOs, you actually still have to have a website and have a white paper at least. But that's super easy compared to like traditional VC fundraising. And then now and then we went through like sort of the NFT craze, etc. But now you just need one image, say like one meme, and then then you go to a pump platform, and then off you go. So the fundraising has become so much easier, which is kind of it's a bit too easy now. So I think, but I think there are still many. There's still many strong founders who are using the solid approaches, white paper, product, and TGE much later after the product have product market fit. I think we still see a lot of strong projects in those categories. I think long term those projects will win.
And what do you think is going to have higher returns, VC in the space or listed liquid tokens? Because it's actually very hard for anybody to build a business and beat Bitcoin's returns. It's phenomenally hard to do.
Yeah.
How do you think about that?
Yeah, so it's very hard to outrun Bitcoin. I think there's only a few projects that have kind of outrun Bitcoin for a period of time. I mean, in the industry, if you're industry for any period of time, you say, look, instead of investing in crypto projects, just buy Bitcoin and hold. Much less work. But even as a crypto OGs like myself, I invest in many new projects. We have to do that to grow the industry. And there are projects that have outright...
Probably be richer if you hadn't.
Actually, no. I think BNB have outrun Bitcoin so far in its existence.
Yeah.
Ethereum probably has as well.
Yeah.
Even though I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions about Ethereum.
Doge has.
Even Doge has, which is crazy, right? So there are a few projects that outperform Bitcoin, but those are a small number. But I do think that they all continue to be new projects that will outperform Bitcoin, but they're very small in number, and also they start at a much smaller market cap. Right, so it's easy to, if you look at the multiples, they can go higher. But if they reach to the size of the Bitcoin today, they will slow down too. It's much harder to grow a large market cap than a small one. So it depends on your risk appetite, risk profile, on what you want to invest in. But I do think there are still many good opportunities. But it's true that if you want the least amount of work with very good returns, just buy the top few tokens. You're in good shape,
and you'll be fine. So, in our last few minutes, where are we in the current market cycle? How are you thinking about this? How should people be thinking about it?
I'm always bullish.
Me too.
So if you ask me, at the deepest winter in 2019, I'm bullish. 2022, 2023, I was bullish. And if you ask me at the peak, I'm bullish, and then the market goes down, have a correction. And, it's very hard to time the market.
Yeah.
So far, the markets go on 4-year cycles, but it's very hard to tell, if this one's going to be shorter or longer, etc. So, but I think if we take a long view, we're still early.
And also, what we know about state level adoption. Asset management adoption, there is a lot of big players coming in, and that feels like that's this cycle thing where people start.
Yeah, so actually on this one, I think what we've seen is that this cycle so far has been ETFs. Yeah. So US institutional money going to ETFs, and those money go to Bitcoin because the Bitcoin ETF is the biggest. So in that regard, Ethereum didn't go up that much, right? Because the money's kind of stuck with Bitcoin. But what's good for Bitcoin is good for other crypto. Eventually the money will disperse. When they're in an ETF, they usually take longer because the institutions for them to go from Bitcoin to Ethereum to other altcoins will take a bit longer.
창펑자오는 이번 시장 사이클의 핵심 키워드로 ETF와 기관 자금의 유입을 꼽습니다. 과거 ICO와 NFT, 밈코인 중심의 자금 조달이 유행했던 시기와 달리 이제는 전통 금융의 자금이 암호화폐 시장에 본격적으로 진입하는 시기라는 것이죠. 현재 자금은 대부분 비트코인 ETF에 집중되어 있어 이더리움이나 알트코인의 상승폭은 제한적이지만 그는 비트코인의 좋은 일은 결국 암호화폐 전체의 좋은 일이라고 말합니다. 즉, 초기 진입은 비트코인에서 시작되더라도 시간이 지나면 자연스럽게 자산군으로 분산된다는 것입니다. 또한 그는 BNB, 이더리움, 도지코인처럼 일시적으로 비트코인보다 높은 수익률을 기록한 예외적인 프로젝트들이 존재한다고 언급했지만 이는 초기 시가총액이 작았기에 가능했던 상승일 뿐 장기적인 관점에서는 여전히 비트코인이 가장 안정적이고 강력한 자산임을 강조합니다. 실제로 자산의 규모가 커질수록 성장 속도는 점점 둔화될 수밖에 없으며 이러한 구조적 한계를 감안할 때 비트코인을 능가하는 장기 성과를 기대하기는 매우 어렵다고 덧붙입니다. 이제 창펑자오는 이번 사이클에 대한 그의 생각을 전달하는데요. 끝까지 확인해 보시죠. 그리고 혹시 거래 수수료 절반을 다시 환급받는 방법 아직 모르시나요? 단 5분만 투자하면 평생 수수료 돌려받는 셀퍼럴, 선택이 아닌 필수입니다. 자세한 내용은 영상 더보기란을 확인해 보세요.
But what we've seen, and I still believe that 100% is Bitcoin is usually the first crypto that people interact with when they come to crypto. That's the first one they learn. That's the most stable. That's the most decentralized, etc. And that's the biggest market cap. But once the money is in crypto, they will eventually explore other things, right? So it will come. So I think we're still quite early. I think we're still in. If we go by 4-year cycles, should be end of this year. But we don't know for sure.
And do you think because of where we are in the network adoption that growth has slowed down yet in Bitcoin, or do you think we're actually early? Because there's an argument or discussion going on where we are on the adoption curve and our returns coming down. I don't think they are, but what do you think?
I don't think they are. I think we're just getting started. So I think right now there's a handful of countries that's talking to me about blockchain adoption. And most other countries, I don't see anything going on. So out of 200 countries, even there's 12 countries that are just starting, right? So US is just starting. So ETFs is only like the last, a few months, right? So everything's just starting. I think people, when they invest, they're very impatient. All right. So of course, when I invest, I want to see my money 10x tomorrow. Why not? Right. But the market doesn't work like that. So I think if you're chasing things that are against how this world works, you're going to be always disappointed. Right. So basically, you're chasing something that doesn't make sense. And if you chase too hard, then it's gonna backfire. You're gonna lose money. But I think in this world, we gotta understand how the world works. Money takes time to build.
오늘 영상 도움이 되셨다면 구독, 좋아요 부탁드립니다. 감사합니다.